Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Rachna Shanbag Moite, specializing in pediatric immunology, and today I shall be discussing an interesting topic that is severe combined immunodeficiency or SCID, also known as the bubble disease. Before we go on to discuss SCID, let us briefly talk about the lymphocyte development. We know that the bone marrow consists of stem cells, also known as the mother cells, which give rise to the various cells in our body. The stem cells produce the common lymphoid progenitor, which gives rise to both the B cell as well as the T cell. The T cells then go to the thymus for further maturation. The T cells are majorly of two types in our body, the CD4 T cell and the CD8 T cell. The CD4 T cell stimulates the B cell to produce antibodies which help us fight against bacteria. The CD4 T cell also plays a major role in fighting against the fungi. The CD8 T cells, on the other hand, have an antiviral and an anti-tumor effect. So imagine a condition if T cells were absent or very low in our body, we would be predisposed to infections with bacteria, fungi, viruses, as well as parasitic infections. This gives rise to a severe form of immune deficiency known as SCID. It is a combined immune defect because the B cell function is also affected in these patients. So SCID is the most severe form of immune deficiency. It is a medical emergency. It is basically a defect in the adaptive immune system characterized by profound defect in the T cell development and function. However, the number of B cells and NK cells are also variably affected, but the B cell function or the ability of B cells to produce antibodies is consistently affected. Now, SCID is caused due to diverse genetic mutations, and these mutations encode for components of the immune system crucial for the lymphocyte cell development. As a result, these patients have very small or absent thymuses, lymph nodes, tonsils, adenoids, and Peyer's patches are absent or underdeveloped in these patients. So how do we define a typical SCID? A male or a female less than 2 years of age with absolute lymphocyte count less than 3000 per cubic millimeter or presence of T cells of maternal origin and a proven genetic mutation defines a typical SCID. What are the clinical manifestations? These children usually present within the first few months of life, that is during the infancy. Initially, their growth may appear normal, but due to suffering from recurrent infections, they undergo extreme wasting. They suffer from various infections like oral thrush, recurrent pneumonia, recurrent or persistent diarrhea, several infections such as otitis media, sepsis, and cutaneous infections. And these infections are usually caused by opportunistic pathogens like Candida albicans, parainfluenza 3 virus, adenovirus, RSV, CMV, EBV, and the list is long. So when do you suspect a child to have SCID? An infant presenting to you with recurrent infections, absence of lymph nodes and tonsils, infections with opportunistic organisms, CBC showing lymphopenia, and a chest X-ray showing absent or small thymic shadow. And how do we diagnose these children? A simple complete blood count will show you presence of low absolute lymphocyte count. When we do immunoglobulin levels in these patients, they may be low or absent. Lymphocyte subset shows low T cells with or without the presence of low B or NK cells. When we give vaccines to these patients, their antibody response is very poor, and a chest X-ray will show absent or small thymus. Finally, it can be proven with genetic analysis and a proven genetic mutation. To give you a simple diagnostic algorithm, when you do a simple CBC, you look for the absolute lymphocyte count. If the absolute lymphocyte count is low or less than 3000, perform a lymphocyte subset analysis. The lymphocyte subset will always show low T cells with or without presence of low B or NK cells. And finally, performing a genetic analysis gives us a genetic mutation and proves the diagnosis of SCID. Now, why is a genetic test important? Usually, these children present very sick, and a genetic diagnosis may not help the index child. However, it will definitely help the family if they're planning another pregnancy, since these diseases are genetic in origin. Coming to the treatment, we must treat the infections in the index child with antibiotics, antifungals, antivirals, and even antitubercular therapy. Since antibody levels are very low in these patients, they require IVIG replacement. And finally, the only curative treatment is a bone marrow transplant, This disease is highly fatal, and these children usually die due to recurrent infection within the first 2 years of life. And providing them with a bone marrow transplant helps them cure the disease. Very important to note is to avoid vaccination with live vaccines in these children. Also, we must only transfuse them with irradiated blood and blood products. This is because these children with SCID lack the ability to reject foreign tissue, and they are prone to developing graft versus host disease from T cells present in non-irradiated blood products or allogenic bone marrow transplant. Now, coming to an interesting fact, why is it called bubble disease? David Vetter, a young American boy, was a prominent sufferer of SCID. At birth, as he was diagnosed to have SCID, a special sterilized cocoon or a containment environment was made for this child to protect him from infections from the environment. Hence, he was famously called as David the Bubble Boy. For 12 long years, he continued to grow in his bubble. His schooling, entertainment, eating, and interacting with his family and the doctors was only through this bubble. When he grew up, he wanted to interact with the other children. So NASA even made a specialized sterilized suit for him to mobilize to the environment and interact with other children. He lived for 12 long years in this bubble and later received a bone marrow transplant from his sister. But sadly, within 15 days of bone marrow transplant, he succumbed to EBV infection. Hence, this is also called as the bubble disease. So take-home messages from this lecture are: the SCID is a medical emergency. It presents in early infancy within the first year of life. They have lymphopenia, low T cells and hypogammaglobulinemia, absent thymus on chest X-ray. It is 100% fatal in the absence of a definitive treatment. And the only definitive treatment is a bone marrow transplant. With the advancement in medical science, we are now able to cure these children with a bone marrow transplant, and they go on to live like normal other children. Hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for other videos on simple topics in immunology. Thank you.